What's up and good morning, guys. Welcome back to another video. Today we're over here on our next restaurant build, and I've given you guys little glimpses into this place. But now that the pizza restaurant is basically 99.7% finished, I'm moving on over to this restaurant to get things rolling. So really the last time we filmed here, one of the last times we filmed here, we had demoed all of the concrete and the plants and all of that was right here. This is going to be the new outdoor patio area. You can see we've got it formed up here because obviously we are 12 inches or so higher than the sidewalk. So there's going to be a curb right here, poured in place curb. Obviously there will be railing right here. I believe it's going to be a cable railing that we're going to be building in-house. Now on the outside of the building, really the only thing that's going to change is this window right here is now going to become the doorway to the servers, and everybody can come in and out to kind of service the patio area. Up in the front over here, this area is all nice and dialed in and ready. And again, everything is graded. We've got a layer of DG down. It has been compacted. We've adjusted all of the electrical that was in these planters, because again, this area used to be all planters and there was just random electrical boxes all throughout. So we have lowered all of those and then put them into concrete boxes so they can still be accessed if needed later. So this area is going to be dining. This area is going to be dining, as well as around that corner. Tons of outdoor dining because, well, the more tables you have, the more money you make. Now let me bring you guys inside and try to get you caught up. So inside the main dining area, which is over here, this has been kind of our production, I don't know what you want to call it, our finishing studio, our finishing factory. You can see behind me we've got a lot of 2x4s that have been milled down. That is going to be our baseboard and our crown detail. So all of that needs to get finished. There's one coat of like a whitewash stain that goes on, and then 2 coats of conversion varnish that go over top to seal it all in. And obviously you need a lot of space to be able to do that. This is like a tiny amount of what we've done. We've cut a ton of 2x2s that are going to go vertically on this wall over here. And if you guys harken back, this is actually the second location for the breakfast restaurant that we built. So they're taking a lot of those design elements and putting them into this place. So the 2x2 walls are vertical 2x2 walls. That's all going to be the same as the last restaurant. But like the most daunting task of all is getting everything finished ahead of time, because we need all the space to finish. All of the 2x2s, there's 300 and something of them, are actually at the third restaurant location we're going to be building at some point this year. And those are getting finished over there because we just don't have the room to finish everything here. As soon as we get one more coat of conversion varnish on this, all of these temporary racks can come down, and then we can start building. We've already gone ahead though and put OSB on all of these walls because again, we're going to be putting vertical 2x2s, and we want to be able just to screw anywhere in and have a nice tight grab. Versus normally you have to find the studs. Well, if we're going a 2x2 every 4 inches, you know, the chances of you hitting a stud on maybe every 5th or 6th one is pretty slim to none. So by putting the OSB on the walls first, it doesn't matter where we go to screw off, we're always gonna have solid backing to grab. But on top of the OSB, because we don't want OSB to be our backdrop, we're going to have drywall. So we're gonna put our crown and our base molding, which is again, all of this material right here, drywall in between those two, paint that a like similar pinkish color as a whitewashed 2x4, and then put our 2x2s on. It's a long process. It'll all make sense once we actually start, you know, diving into it. You can see all of the lighting is coming down. Now, unfortunately, this place has a drop ceiling or a suspended ceiling, and we absolutely hate them. They look horrible, but there's just so much crap up above us that to get rid of this and relocate all of that would be extremely expensive and time consuming. And as you saw from the pizza restaurant, that project got extremely expensive and time consuming. This one, it's the same group of owners. We don't want them to have to go through that again. So when it comes to these style of restaurants, we're like, the base is there, the bones are there, this building's not falling over. These are the ones that we can come in and build out much quicker and get them rolling, open for business, and making money a lot faster. So unfortunately, the suspended ceiling is staying. However, today we're working on getting everything dialed in because it had a bunch of like low spots and like bent pieces and all kinds of stuff. So we're getting all of that fixed. The one thing we want to do though is we want to distract you from it, right? Because it's kind of hard to distract you from 2 foot by 2 foot squares all the way around this place. So one of Dave's creative ideas was we should put pyramids up on the ceiling in like random clusters. See if I can hold the plastic back here. We actually are going to have a decorative pyramid wall here, and we call them pyramids. I mean, just because of the shape of them, I guess, whatever. But Scott has been working on building these pyramids out of some tongue and groove cedar. So this back wall, which maybe you can see it behind the plastic, is going to be a 2x2 grid of all of these pyramids. And then again, Dave wants to do some shallower ones on the ceiling, but not have them line up per se with the 2x2 grid. And I think by doing that and having these random clusters, it's gonna start to break that 2x2 up and not exactly draw your eye to the fact that it's just a standard regular drop ceiling, because again, that's really lame and boring and we don't like that.
Set up? I got mine here. You can take that one.
Now, as you all can see, and this is just the very, very start, there is a ton of woodwork going into this restaurant. We got Scott's pretty freaking sweet pyramid wall back here. Obviously, it's gonna be floor to ceiling pyramids, but they're gonna die into this box beam right here. What this actually is a backrest. There's gonna be a seat right here, and this whole back wall will be essentially a booth. But we had to bump it out because, well, we have to contend now with having these pyramids out here. So that's why we built this so big, even though it is literally just gonna hold an upholstered piece of backrest. But we had to get it past those pyramids. There will be a pyramid little section in between. There's a small section here before the backrest. There's a little gap here between where the backrest and the seat's gonna be. All of this super hard to imagine, I understand. It'll all start to make sense. As we slowly start piecing this place together, went ahead and chopped this little pony wall down. There's gonna be a bunch of pony walls up here. One that's gonna go this way, one that's gonna go sit on top of that concrete right there, another one right here. And we want those all to be at the exact same height. So if you're standing down there and you're looking up at this section, the tops of all of these are at the same height as that backrest over there, pony wall over there. Everything's gonna be at the same height. So I ended up chopping this existing wall down. Now, one of the other things, I don't know if I mentioned again, on the ceiling, we're gonna put these random ones to try to break up the fact that this is a 2x2 grid. They are not gonna sit in the grid. So keep that in mind when I show you what I'm about to show you. So in trying to figure out something cool we could do with the lighting, because again, we have a 2x2 grid ceiling, which is the ugliest form of ceiling that exists. And it had even worse, the ugliest lights that exist, the 2 by 4 foot fluorescent boxes. While our guy was here today pulling out all those 2x4 boxes, I told him just put the center sections back in and let's get everything back to 2x2. I can order flat panel LED 2x2 panels that kind of disappear into the ceiling, and they're not as trashy looking as a 2x4 fluorescent. But on top of that, what else can we do to dress the ceiling up and do something cool? And I'm not in charge of like final design decisions. However, I turned one of Scott's pyramids into a light fixture, and I think it turned out pretty sick. I don't know if it's gonna show up on camera. Let me get a little bit closer for you guys to see. I continued the pyramid out of frosted acrylic, and again, with the lights on, let me see. Let me unplug this for a second. So now you guys can see what it looks like with the lights off. It is just frosted acrylic. The angles aren't exact. I used an angle calculator and it was a hair off of the angles that Scott did. This is just a prototype. See if we can get this approved by the owners. I think it'd be cool. Not all of the lighting has to be like this, but if we have a couple of these sprinkled in as like accent lighting, I think it might be cool in the sea of pyramids that's gonna be on the ceiling. And obviously this is super bright because it's just an LED light that we like to use around the job site as our temporary lighting. So we'll make something more permanent, again, if we get this approved. This is just my little prototype I wanted to make, but I think it looks pretty cool. Now in the kitchen, the plumbers came through and they marked out all of the plumbing trenches that are gonna now need to get cut in this place. Originally, it didn't sound like there was gonna be much, but it seems like the plumbing here is failing and horrible. They ran cameras through it, and the cast iron's just crumbling. So it looks like this place is gonna end up getting all new plumbing, which is a lot of stuff that needs to be taken out. Outside, Abel and Hefe got all of the rebar tied. Okay guys, so we started off this video at the new restaurant that we are building, but today we're going back to the old restaurant and it is a big day. We've got the mixer hooked up. We're bringing that into town because Papa Rhino needs to use that on one of his jobs. Today is the day we are hanging the big sign that's gonna go on the front of the building. And when I say big, I haven't seen it in person, but just based on dimensions, this thing is gonna be massive and I'm pretty excited to see how this goes. Hopefully we don't drop it. So there's a lot of action going on in the street today. We'll show you guys that in a second, but I wanted to take you back into the restaurant because actually a lot has changed since the last time I filmed here. Our booths are, well, this one they got to add an outlet into, but that one's getting put in. We got our divider wall put up here with more booths over here. So it kind of divides you from the bar area. It is definitely looking much more like a restaurant now than when we last left. These are all made off-site by Nick, Carpenter Nick. You guys have seen him on the channel quite often. There's gonna be old school little curtain rods that go here. That's why this isn't tight yet, because we didn't want to put a screw into his where you can see it. So we're gonna figure out what little curtain rod holder we're gonna use. The screw will go behind that, and then that'll suck that wall tight to there. Bar stools are all in. The pizza oven has officially been fired up. It is still not working correctly. We've been fighting this thing for a couple of weeks. And well, when you import something from Italy that's on like a 8 or 12 hour time difference, it's really hard to get a hold of somebody. So hopefully they get that figured out, because you ain't making a whole lot of pizza without your $40,000 pizza oven working. Now, good news is we have passed all of our inspections, health inspection, final inspection, everything is passed and ready to go. So we have officially turned this place over to the restaurant owners and to their staff to start doing training and all of that. I mean, you can see we're starting to get some food up in here, but that part is out of all of our hands. We got nothing to do with this place actually making pizza. You guys, so our forklift has shown up. Again, we got road construction going on right where we're going to be putting this sign in, so we're going to have to wait until they move that dump truck, and then the sign just showed up. It's in the back of that pickup truck back there. All right, so while we wait for them to finish patching that street, let's try to get our straps and stuff set up. I think we're just going to go through here so we're locked in versus putting it just over the forks. If we can slide it all the way through, the strap might not be long enough to actually span the width of the sign going through here, but we'll see. There we go. We'll get the scissor lift brought out, and don't worry, this is not staying. One of the managers wanted to see this. This looks horrible. We're taking this down. Ciao. All right. Move this fun thing. Ready? Okay. Ain't no big. You're a little low there. You might want to raise that hitch up. Those clamps on for now, Tuna. Yeah, because we're gonna. I don't want the wood to come off while we. Yeah, we'll just pull off whatever's holding it, but I think we leave the clamps on for now. And then once we're off, we're gonna pull this apart. We're gonna use these 2x4s to level the scissor lift back over here. Now that you're a pro, dude, I'm gonna let you do it.
Probably get you guys up on the floor down this side center. There, all right. Hold down one. All right, don't move, guys. Don't move.
My bad, Tuna.
Last thing we need is a chip too.
Chip tuna, dude?
Fuck, I'm already ugly.
Nah, dude, you're fucking beautiful, man. I don't care what Dave says.
Sweet.
I'm gonna take the weight off of it, and then we'll pin it here, and then we can start tearing this apart. All right, you want to get the scissor lift set up now? Does it want it to turn on you?
It's gonna come this way. I just don't know how far yet.
All right.
Just making sure
Yeah. Ease up on it.
back there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yep.
Go, Rhino, let's go.
Watch the lights, dude.
You like it? That's gonna work. It's gonna work. I got the lights up. Sick, dude.
You want to pull all the bolts off?
Where's that wrench? Where's that wrench, Tuna? Do you want to ride in the scissor lift or no? You just want to watch? No, I'm cool down here. So I'll be on the roof and I'll be able to guide you left and right.
Okay. We don't have a whole lot of... Whatever. I'm going to boom out. We'll check where we're at. It might, if it's like 6 inches, it might just be you guys by hand kind of shifting her. I'll keep the weight, but then you guys just kind of shift her and then we can set the weight down. Godspeed, brother. Oh, is that it? Tuna, I'm just gonna do a test run just to see how close to center we are, okay? Do you think by the time I keep booming at that angle, it's gonna hit there? It's going that way pretty quick. All right. Coming down. Good. Staying. Hell of a system up there. That's about as easy as that could ever get. Good work, brother. Good work on those brackets, man. That turned out killer. Beautiful. All right, let me get this out the way here. You ready for me? Sweet. Appreciate you hanging around for us, big dog. Thank you, bro. That's all it takes, huh? Just a little bit of wire.
Yeah, this is kind of the scary part now.
I feel you. Design is getting wired up. The neon tubes are getting put on. I don't know if we're gonna see this thing fire up for this video. I'm hoping we can. There's a bunch of light bulbs that go around the perimeter as well, but those all have to get painted. So those are definitely not gonna be on today. Now coming back here, you may notice a little bit of graffiti on the fence. And it's funny because when we put this thing up, a lot of guys were commenting how somebody's gonna come tag that thing. Somebody's gonna come tag that thing. And well, it has been tagged, but this is by design. So originally the owners had the same artist that came out and did that, do some art right here, and we just were not feeling it. I mean, the one up there, you know, the dog eating the pizza, it's already not my style, but it's not my place. So they did some stuff here, which I'll show you guys a picture of, and it was just, again, wasn't really fitting the vibe. So we had the guys bring out some of their homies that clearly do some graffiti, and now it feels more natural and it feels more authentic and more real. And so they tagged this entire place up. We got a little spot for work for it though in there. You know, it's not the most artsy thing, but it was after the fact. But you can see right there, you know, we got a little front and center. When you come in the gate, you see a nice little work for it right there. All right, y'all. Sign is ready. We're gonna go hit the breaker. Oh, we're just getting ready to fire it up, Tuna. We gotta go cover the photocell. You got a paper towel or a wrap, something I can cover it with?
It's hot.
Oh, it's hot? Oh, there you go.
Now it's off.
There, I'll put my hand over it. Let's see if it kicks on. These things sometimes take a minute though. I wonder if it turned on and then the photocell starts working. What's that? Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that. I like to call it sunny. Yeah. Wow.
That's the look right there, boys. Glad we raised that thing up, Jeff.
Yeah,
That was the call there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, that is a wrap. Again, the bulbs will be coming tomorrow. But if you're gonna want to see that, you're probably gonna have to see it in person, or maybe there'll be like a little Instagram video or clip I make of the finalization of that sign. But it's been a long journey. I think I said the last video was gonna be the last video of this place until it's open, but I think this is the last video, and I probably won't film it once it's open because it's weird and there's a bunch of people in there. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed already, please click the subscribe button now that you do not miss out on any future content. Don't forget to give this video a like, aka a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out workforapparel.com, because if there's anything you want in this life, you gotta be willing to work for it. You guys are the best. I'm out.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah.